Hey man, one of the hardest lessons a man learns in dating is that not every smile means something. Not every fast reply means interest. Not every late night text means she wants you. Not every "I miss your energy" means she values you. A lot of men get trapped right there. They confuse warmth with weight. They confuse chemistry with commitment. They confuse temporary attention with genuine desire. And because they do not know the difference, they end up pouring real time, real focus, real emotion into women who never planned to choose them in the first place. That is where the damage starts. Not when she lies, not when she disappears. Earlier. It starts when you keep calling something real before it has paid any real cost, because that is the truth most men avoid. Real interest has a cost. It costs her time, it costs her effort, it costs her comfort, it costs her ego, it costs her options, it costs her passivity. If her interest costs her nothing, it tells you almost nothing. A woman can flirt for free, smile for free, watch your stories for free, send a little heart emoji for free, call you when she is bored for free. None of that proves anything. Actions do. Repeated ones, costly ones, consistent ones. And the man who learns how to read those actions stops wasting years on confusion. Now stay with me, because what I'm about to explain is what separates the men who get strung along from the men who move with clarity. A woman who truly likes you does not just consume your attention, she protects access to you. She does not just enjoy your presence when it is convenient, she invests to keep the connection alive. She does not just like being liked. She behaves like losing your respect would actually matter. That is different, and most men miss it because they are too busy getting high on little bits of validation. She laughed at your joke. She answered at midnight. She sent a selfie. She asked what you were doing. Fine. That can be playful, that can be chemistry, that can be boredom, that can be loneliness, that can be her needing a hit of attention because another guy went cold and she needs somewhere soft to land. It can be many things. What matters is not whether she gives energy once. What matters is what she does over time. That is your first sign. Consistency, not fake intensity. Consistency. A woman who genuinely likes you makes you feel more clear as time goes on, not more confused. That line alone will save a man years. If every week with her makes you more uncertain, more analytical, more exhausted, more desperate to decode, that is already your answer. Real interest does not erase all mystery, but it does reduce confusion. She may still be human, she may still be busy, she may still have moods, but the overall pattern moves toward clarity. You do not have to keep asking yourself where you stand every 3 days. You do not have to keep rereading texts like a detective. You do not have to keep creating hopeful stories out of crumbs. When she truly likes you, she helps the bond breathe. She does not keep it starving just to feel powerful. That matters a lot. Now what I'm about to tell you next is what separates the men women date from the men women quietly use. If she only reaches for you when she needs something, that is not real interest. If she calls when she is lonely, texts when another situation fell through, sends warmth when her ego needs a refill, but disappears, the second life gets full again, you are not being chosen. You are being used as emotional furniture, comfortable, convenient, reliable, but not desired deeply enough to be protected. And brother, you must learn to spot that. Look at the rhythm. Does she reach out only when bored? Only late at night? Only after posting a first trap and soaking in reactions? Only when she needs comfort after another guy disappointed her? Only when you start pulling away? That pattern tells the truth. A woman who truly values you does not only come alive when she is empty. She shows up because you matter, not because she has nothing else going on. That leads to the second sign, initiative. A woman who genuinely likes you does not sit back forever and let you carry the entire dynamic. She reaches too. She texts first sometimes. She asks questions. She revives conversations. She notices silence. She creates moments. She does not just respond, she contributes. And no, that does not mean she has to become aggressive or do all the work. That is not the point. The point is that If she really values the connection, she will not leave all the emotional labor sitting in your lap like it is your full-time job. You should not have to keep the whole thing alive by yourself. If every conversation dies unless you revive it, pay attention. If every plan exists because you made it, pay attention. If every emotional bridge is built by your hands alone, pay attention. Because men get trapped there. By it, they mistake their own effort for mutual connection. They think, we talk every day. No, you talk every day because you keep making it happen every day. That is different. Big difference. Real interest closes distance. Convenience waits for you to close it. Now stay with me, because this next part is where weak men get played. A woman who truly likes you remembers. She remembers details that did not benefit her. She remembers the little story you told in passing. She remembers what your week looked like. She remembers the thing that stresses you out, the coffee you always order, the way your mood shifts when work gets heavy, the goal that you mentioned 2 months ago. Why? Because attention follows investment. When she is really into you, your details stick to her. A woman who only likes the vibe in the moment forgets quickly. She keeps asking the same surface questions. She knows the energy of you, but not the substance of you. She likes the hit, not the person. And that is why details matter. Not because remembering your favorite drink is magical, because it shows focus. She is not just being entertained by the interaction, she is actually tracking you. That is a real sign. Another one, respect. You want to know if her interest is real? Watch how she handles your boundaries, not when things are easy, when they cost her something. If you say no, does she guilt you? If you are busy, does she punish you? If you slow down and focus on your mission, does she start acting funny because your world is no longer revolving around her? A woman who only likes access hates limits. A woman who truly values you respects your structure, even when it inconveniences her. That is huge. Because a lot of men keep confusing emotional hunger with love. She wants constant attention, constant reassurance, constant access, constant texting, constant checking in. Fine, that may mean she is attached to the feeling you give her. It does not always mean she respects you. Real interest respects your shape. She may miss you, she may want more of you, but she does not try to punish you for being a man with a life. She does not turn your discipline into an offense. That is maturity. That is real. And if she cannot do that, her interest is probably just appetite. Now, what I'm about to tell you next is what separates a real woman from a temporary thrill. Watch her when things get inconvenient. Anybody can be sweet when the vibe is high. Anybody can be affectionate when the chemistry is easy. Anybody can be warm when she is getting exactly what she wants. That proves almost nothing. The real test starts when life gets less cinematic. You are tired, work is heavy, you cannot reply instantly, your focus shifts, plans get moved, stress enters the room. Does she become another problem to manage, or does she become steadier? That answer matters more than all the flirting in the first month, because a woman who truly likes you does not need the bond to feel like a movie every day. She can sit inside ordinary life without turning it into a crisis. She does not make every delayed reply mean rejection. She does not make every busy week mean abandonment. She does not start rewriting the whole connection because the emotional sugar dropped for 48 hours. She stays, she steadies, she gives grace. And that is rare. Now let me give you something even sharper. Real interest is not proven by what she says when she is with you. It is proven by how she moves when you are not in front of her. That is where a lot of men get fooled. In person, she is soft, warm, smiling, maybe touchy, maybe affectionate, fine. What happens when you leave? Does she follow up? Does she carry the energy forward? Does she create continuity? Does she protect the thread? Or does everything go dead until you restart it? That is a real test, because plenty of women can be present in the moment. Far fewer can sustain intention beyond it, and that is where the weak man gets trapped. He keeps telling himself, but when we're together, it feels amazing. Great. Then why does it keep dying the second you stop pushing? Why does her effort disappear the moment your hand leaves the wheel? Why does the connection only breathe when you pump air into it? That is not a bond. That is a dependency on your output. Real interest survives your silence long enough to reach back. Now stay with me here, because this is one of the strongest signs and most men miss it completely. A woman who truly likes you does not make you feel stupid for caring. That one cuts deep. She does not keep giving you mixed energy just to enjoy your pursuit. She does not send just enough warmth to keep you orbiting while she keeps her real options open. She does not act close in private and then make you feel optional in public. She does not keep you hidden while soaking up what you provide. She does not keep you on standby while she figures things out with somebody else. A woman who truly likes you makes room, not excuses. She does not need years to decide whether she sees your value. She may move slower than you want, fine, but her movement still has direction. It is not random. It is not hot one week, cold the next, then warm again once you step back. That pattern is not mystery, it is poor intent, and men need to stop romanticizing poor intent. Now, what I'm about to tell you next is the difference between female attention and female investment. Attention is easy. Investment costs something. Attention is her reacting to your energy. Investment is her putting her own on the table. Attention is liking your story. Investment is checking in when you vanished from it. Attention is flirting when bored. Investment is making time when tired. Attention is responding to your pursuit. Investment is creating pursuit of her own. There it is. That is the line. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. A woman who truly likes you invests in the future of the connection, not always with grand speeches, not always with dramatic confessions, often in quieter ways. She starts speaking in we sometimes. She asks about where you are going, not just what you are doing tonight. She wonders how your plans fit together. She is not trying to trap you. She is trying to locate herself in a future that includes you. That is different from a woman who just enjoys the vibe and disappears when real life asks for depth. Another sign, she handles conflict like the connection matters. This one is big. A woman who only likes the attention will run, vanish, block, stonewall, replace, or punish the second tension enters. Why? Because the bond is not precious to her. It is optional. She liked the comfort of it. Not the reality of building it, but a woman who genuinely likes you works to repair. Not perfectly, not like some angel, but she does not treat every misunderstanding like a reason to discard. She wants resolution because she wants the connection to live. That is real interest, not drama, not performance, repair. Now, what I'm about to tell you next is what separates the men women date from the men women quietly respect. Watch how she responds to your growth. A woman who only likes having access to you may become weird the second you level up. The more focused you become, the more disciplined, the more unavailable to nonsense, the more she resents it. Why? Because your growth reduces her control. She liked the version of you that was easy to manage, easy to summon, easy to keep orbiting. But the woman who truly likes you gets proud when you sharpen. She pushes you toward your best form. She does not sabotage your mission because she understands something weak men often forget. A high-value connection can only exist between two people who honor growth. That means she will not always compete with your purpose. She will not always try to make your grind feel like neglect. She will not shame your standards because they inconvenience her. She will respect the fact that you were somebody before her and still need to be somebody with or without her. That is huge and rare. Now let's get brutally honest. One of the clearest signs she truly likes you is peace. Not fake peace, not dead energy, not politeness, real peace. Meaning she does not constantly drag chaos into your life just to make herself feel significant. She does not create confusion to feel power. She does not keep you off balance to test whether you will stay. She adds weight in the right way. Warmth, stability, emotional honesty, consideration, calm. A woman who genuinely values you does not keep manufacturing storms just to watch how you handle rain. And if all she brings is tension, drama, uncertainty, mixed signals, mood games, and emotional whiplash, stop calling it chemistry. Sometimes it is just instability wearing makeup. That is a hard truth. Now stay with me, because this next part is where men either wake up or keep getting fooled. The strongest proof of real interest appears when you stop overperforming, when you text a little less, when you stop carrying every conversation, when you focus on yourself, when you stop flooding the bond with reassurance, what happens then? Does she lean in or disappear? That tells you nearly everything. If she vanishes, she was feeding on your effort. If she leans in, she was feeding on the connection. Massive difference. This is why men who chase too hard often never learn the truth. They keep smothering the situation with effort, so they never see whether she would ever bridge the gap herself. They do not let the bond reveal its real weight. They keep artificially inflating it with constant output. Then later they feel blindsided when it falls apart. Brother, it was not a bridge, it was scaffolding. Yours. Take it down sometimes, see what stands. That is how grown men date. Not with paranoia, with structure, with observation, with enough self-respect to let reality answer. And here is the final test. How does she act when other options appear? Not in some fake alpha nonsense way. Real life. Men show interest. DMs open, attention comes in, social media keeps feeding her little dopamine snacks all day. Fine. Does she start acting single while keeping you emotionally warm on the side? Does she flirt with backup options while telling you not to worry? Does she need constant outside male attention to stay regulated? Or does she protect what you two are building because she actually sees it as valuable? That matters a lot. Because genuine interest does not always shout, but it does protect. A woman who truly likes you does not just enjoy being wanted, she becomes careful with what could damage access to you. She does not want to gamble your respect for a little hit of outside validation. She does not treat your loyalty like something that will always be there no matter how reckless she gets. That is one of the deepest signs of all: restraint, respect, protectiveness over the bond. Now let me bring this home. Only women who truly like you act in ways that reduce confusion, increase effort, and protect the connection without being dragged into it. They do not just like how you make them feel, they start valuing who you are. They do not just consume your attention, they offer their own. They do not just enjoy your consistency, they match it. They do not just love you when it is easy, they steady the bond when it gets inconvenient. They do not just say you matter, their patterns make it expensive to doubt it. That is the difference, and once a man learns that, his whole life changes. He stops falling for smiles. He stops chasing breadcrumbs, stops worshipping chemistry, stops overvaluing warm moments with women who never showed costly interest. He becomes slower, sharper, calmer. He starts looking for proof, not possibility. He starts measuring investment, not fantasy. He stops asking, how do I make her like me more? And starts asking, has she shown enough to deserve more of me? That is the power shift. That is how a man gets his dignity back. So hear me clearly, brother. Do not confuse attention with desire. Do not confuse flirting with intention. Do not confuse comfort with investment. Do not confuse your own effort with mutual connection. And never call something real just because it felt good in the moment. Real women show it, repeatedly, costly, clearly. And the moment you learn how to read that, you stop wasting your time on women who only wanted your light without ever planning to stand in it for real. That is how you protect your peace. That is how you stop guessing. And that is how you become the kind of man who only invests where interest is proven.